Just Steve, a very, very small group of Republicans blasted the president's decision. Mitt Romney, Pat Toomey. Where's everybody else?
Well, they're hiding, they're silent, they're afraid, they're terrified of being tweeted at. They are terrified of this president giving them a nickname. And so once again, we see this feckless, cowardly Republican majority in the Senate, Republican minority in the House, who won't stand up for the rule of law, won't stand up for the checks and balances, won't stand up for decency. The Secretary of Education can go on a television show and say that the loss of 0.2% of America's school children, with about 15,000 American kids, is acceptable casualty numbers. What we see in this administration is the stench, the rot, and Roger Stone is a nefarious character. He deserves to be in prison. He is a convicted felon. But, at this point in the administration, we shouldn't be surprised at anything that Trump does, and we shouldn't be surprised at the total silence and complicity of his Republican enablers. The expectations are zero because that's what they've proved to do for these last years.
But Steve, why? Are Republican voters down with this?
I'm not a psychologist, Stephanie. I can't explain it. But in this hour of testing, when every American idea and ideal has been assaulted by this administration, when we've seen rampant corruption, we have an entire political class in this country that is scared to stand up and to do their duty to preserve and protect and steward the Constitution of the United States, to make the country a better place, to hand it off a stronger country to our kids. I'm at a loss for it for years, but it's despicable. It's cowardly. When we look at the coronavirus response across the country, we see states, big states, mega states that could be nations unto themselves, Florida and Texas, led by abject fools. They're to be responsible for killing a lot of their citizens with the idiocy of the policies. It's a terrible time in the country with regard to our leaders. We have a leadership crisis. We have a courage crisis in the country, and it's too bad. And we see the damage that it's all done.
Joyce, on Twitter, you really dissected President Trump's letter where he announced the commutation. What stood out to you the most?
So I think the letter just piles awful on top of the commutation, which is bad enough, because Trump doubles down on why he commuted Roger Stone's sentence. And here's what sets this commutation apart from any other time a president of the United States has commuted a sentence for someone. It's that the president was limiting his own exposure, whether to criminal investigation or congressional oversight, by ensuring that Roger Stone would never testify about him. With this commutation, Stone will never spend a night in prison. There is no risk that he will cooperate with federal officials and tell them what he knows about Trump to save himself from going to prison. So in announcing this pardon, in decrying it as part of the Russia hoax, which we all know was not a hoax, Bob Mueller had 2 blockbuster indictments that displayed for everyone to see Russia's efforts to interfere in our election. Trump is continuing this litany that says that he is always the one who is done wrong by the criminal justice system.